feel that in my soul. Hey, be nice.
Hey,
Hey, that was
hey,
all you.
look at you doing that at the right spot.
I
I
didn't
love
do
it.
shit. I was scrolling on another page.
Oh, I didn't do anything. It
Ah,
actually ended on time. Look at that
oh my
go.
god. Hey, welcome back, everybody, from our week off at the
Was it a
Geek
week
Spot
off?
News. And we thank you for finding the Geek Spot,
We do thank you, as always, for finding the geek spot.
as always. Hello, Charles. I saw you're in the hospital. Hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Yeah, Charles, definitely take care of yourself, man. Feel better.
Yes, please. We're gonna we got a lot of fun stuff in store tonight.
Oh,
A
do
lot of
we?
stuff to talk about. We're gonna
I'm trying
we're
to
gonna do the
figure out.
top 19, no, the top 20 shows of the 20th century.
That's
Top,
good. We should do that. Let's just recap the 20th for my boy Chris, because he was
we
very
will.
upset with me.
We will when we get to that. We're
That
not gonna do that. But how is your wow? It's been a week. It feels like it's been forever.
it's been two. We missed St. Patty's Day, I
Did we?
think, right?
No. Did
Didn't
we?
we? I
No.
feel like we did. What's today? I don't even know when today is. It is
Today's the
26th. So yeah,
25th.
we missed it by like a week, man.
Oh, we
Yeah,
missed it. Oh, I thought you meant we were off.
we were off the 18th.
Right, right. So happy
So
belated St. Patty's Day for.
yeah, with the D's, not with the T's, because
Well,
it's
yeah,
better that way.
the D's are all
I
right.
mean, sometimes you need a little bit of both. Depends on pick your
Indubitably.
poison. Yeah, I've been good, man. Just super, super, super busy.
I saw
Gigging
that.
and going to stuff, and like got to watch my one kid over the weekend playing like a jazz festival, and then my other kid sang the national anthem at the Wings game.
That's kind of awesome.
After that was fun. Um, so got to go experience my first Wings lacrosse game.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's a lot. There's a lot going
They,
on.
they don't stop the music.
No, no. I mean, it felt like watching a set from any band in the early 2000s, because it was just every emo alternative song, and a lot of Linkin Park, a lot of Papa Roach,
Lot of yeah.
a lot of like Jimmy World. I think they played 6 Fall Out Boy tunes, so it just felt very much like going to one of those shows with all the bands that do the medleys.
Did they win?
Oh no, no,
They're not good.
no. So apparently they're 5-7. The team they were playing is 4-9.
Oof.
However, they were down. They lost 20-11 or something. I don't know. It's not great.
Philadelphia sports.
Yeah, and I threw a bunch of gigs in there too. Played a bunch of Irish music for a weekend. Back out and about this weekend. Traveling a little bit west, out at the poorhouse, and out at I don't even know where am I at, the alley. Back at the alley on Saturday. Love that place. Out in
You're right
Pottstown.
around the corner. You're right around the corner on Friday, and I couldn't cut it.
I know you're very busy. I'll be right around the corner again in 2 weeks. Next week, next Friday, I'll be at Dockside again over in Bensalem.
Okay. That maybe is next
Um,
Friday. Hold on.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So all that, keep 'em busy. It is my mom's birthday this week, so if she joins or listens at some point,
Happy birthday
happy
to your
birthday to
mom.
her. It's gonna
Is
be
that
later
is
on
that
this week.
the Friday the 5th? Not this
Maybe it's
Friday,
the
right?
Saturday then. I think it's Saturday the 6th then.
Oh, that's a definite no.
It is
Sorry.
Saturday the 6th. Is that when you're at the?
That's not when I'm there, but that's that whole weekend. Like
That's when
starting.
you're wrestling with
That's
people.
yep. Starting on the 3rd is
Got
a
it.
roller coaster.
All right. Well, you do that. I'll go play that show, and I will sit. I will play all 80s glam metal tunes in honor of the Heart Foundation and the Rockers, because that is the
Wow.
last time that I watched wrestling, was when
Wow.
those crews were around.
Mm.
So that's what
Some of
I'm
those
gonna
some
do.
of those crews aren't even alive.
Well, look, Brett had a rough thing.
What, Brett?
Oh, the other one.
Yep.
Um,
Owen. Oh.
Owen. He wasn't in the Heart Foundation though. That was Jim and Brett. So
No, it's
it's fine.
Jim the Anvil
Yeah, and Brett,
and
the
Brett.
Hitman. Yeah, look, I am like all up on this wrestling shit. I'm like
You are. You're right
so
there.
so
You're
there.
ready. You're ready for the story to end, right?
Yeah. And then watched a bunch of stuff, trailers galore, TV shows. I didn't go to the movies, but I heard you did maybe, so we'll see. We might even get to talk about some Ghostbusters. But yeah, we can start hitting that stuff as we go. But how about you, man? What have you been up to?
Thank you, Erica. Yes, I can see without my glasses. I can actually see the computer screens because they're so big. Thank you for pointing that out. Um, I had a lot of hockey. Friday
Oh,
night,
you
Friday
were in
nights are
playoffs,
hockey
weren't you?
playoffs. We lost game one, and the way they do the playoffs now, it used to be what was called an aggregate goal
Mm-hmm.
differential. So,
Oh,
game one, if you win 8-1, then the next game you start up 7-0. So they subtract what the team you're playing has off of.
yeah,
Yeah,
tournament style League Cup.
right. That was awful. Everyone hated it. Now it's you play game one. If you win game one and you win game two, that's it. You're in the next round. If you
Okay.
win game one and lose game two, you then go immediately after game two into a sudden death overtime.
Okay.
Immediately. And the game Wednesday night is at 9:30. So that means the game's going to end at 10:30, and if we win cuz we're down one game, we immediately go into an over sudden death overtime playoff game.
Um, that
Yeah,
sounds wonderful.
it's a lot. It's a lot. The over 50 league is moving to Tuesday nights
Cool.
after this playoff series for the summer, so that's good. I did do a lot of not watching TV but playing video games.
Oh, that's so not like you.
Yes. Um, I am caught up on. I saw Ghostbusters,
Oh, look at you
so
go.
I can give a spoiler-free review since you haven't seen it yet.
Look,
Um,
you
I'll
can
do a
you can
quick.
poll the crowd how spoilery you want to go with it, because
That's fine. You guys can say how spoilery you want it or don't want it. We'll talk about that in a minute. I have had. What else did I do this weekend? Um, Hung out with some friends, played some hockey, saw a movie, watched Roadhouse. We're going to talk about that. I'm
ooh,
excited to
I
talk
watched
about that.
Roadhouse.
Yes, you did.
How far into Agents of Shield did you get?
So I am up to the episode
Mm,
where
mhm.
Bobby and Hunter get caught in an assassination plot in Russia.
Sounds like you had a lot of time to watch stuff, is what that sounds like to me.
So I did watch episode 1 of Invincible.
So you're 6 episodes behind the best
That's
show,
fine. I can catch up with that this week.
one of the best shows on TV.
I did watch one more episode of Bad Batch, so I'm 4 back now.
Okay. Look,
Okay.
we can hit Bad Batch real quick since you watched one. Um, it's fine. They're starting to make the story move a little bit, but it's not like they're breaking any ground or doing
Now
anything super exciting or new.
this whole thing is retconning Palpatine having clones. That's
Yeah, it's a long play into that.
big time. Um, I'll throw my Ghostbusters thing out there now.
Oh, you want to go early with it, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the Ghostbusters thing at the beginning to kind of get it out of the way. Um, I saw it Sunday morning, and look, it's like between a 7 and an 8 for me, like a 7.5 maybe.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. I think it's from Adventure Time.
Oh,
It's not from
okay.
Ghostbusters.
It was a fun movie, lots of nostalgia. The only thing missing from the Ghostbusters movie was the busting ghosts part. They did a little bit in the beginning, and then the rest of the movie was plot building up to the final ghost battle with Goku or whatever I forget the name of
That
the
sounds
guy.
like Ghostbusters 2.
A little bit.
Not a
Only
lot of
those little
Ghostbusting in
babies.
Ghostbusters 2. I think you only see proton packs like once even.
There's no. They definitely put the proton packs. The proton packs are very prevalent. The guy from the first movie, Peck.
Paul Rudd?
No, Peck from the very first movie.
Templeton Peck.
Templeton Peck.
Walter Peck.
Yeah, guy.
Templeton Peck is
Templeton Peck is the
his
A-Team
face
guy.
from
Yes,
A-Team. Yeah.
But Mr. Peck from the first movie, the EPA guy, is now the mayor of New York.
I don't know if you knew, but he has no dick.
He does have no dick. He also was a great bad guy in Real Genius.
He was, and Die Hard, and Die Hard 2.
Die Hard too. He was in a couple of them. Let me see. Can I see what my glasses
He
are?
was stuck on the plane in Die Hard 2.
He was. See, I can see, but
Um,
everything's a little blurry.
the professor turn in Real Genius is really my favorite for him.
He was great. He was great in it. Frozen Empire exceeded expectations by landing a $45.2 million opening weekend, surpassing Afterlife by $1.2 million.
That's like Madame Web money, almost.
Well, but it was a better movie. It was a much better movie.
That's what I
Like I
hear.
said, it's it.
Look, I didn't see it. I've heard a lot of reviews, and
It was a good
they
movie.
all
It
said it was
wasn't a
fine.
bad. Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie at all. I really did enjoy it. It get a little bit tiny, a little bit slow in the middle, but not enough to make you go, "Oh my god." So it's a fun movie. A lot of kids in the theater Sunday morning at 11 a.m. now.
Oh,
That's
that's
for sure.
surprising. Like, well, define. Let's. I mean, you're in a senior citizen adult hockey league. So, what do you? How do you define kids?
Not a senior citizen. Well, I would say 10 and under. There was a handful.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yeah.
I would think that like my kids could give two shits about the fact that there's a Ghostbusters movie out because this is not for them in any way, shape, or form. I
I
heard
will give
even the
you
kids they put in the movie are like sidelined for a majority of the movie.
I will give you one spoiler. Patton Oswald does not put on a Ghostbusters uniform.
Oh,
So there's your spoiler.
I didn't even know Patton Oswalt was in it.
He is a librarian researcher type guy who gives lots of exposition.
Oh, good. That's what I need because there's few things I can get enough of than Patton Oswalt's voice in
Well, that's all he
everything he's
does.
in.
That's what he's good for. He's good for exposition.
I liked him better as Agent Caning.
Which one?
Yes, all of
Okay.
them.
But yet, no, it wasn't and I think this movie pushed the Ghostbusters franchise over the $1 billion franchise mark. So as a whole franchise, they've
Oh,
now grossed $1 billion.
well, that's great. I'm so glad Ghostbusters is finally as popular as Captain Marvel 1.
Danny was waiting with bated breath for you to see this because he was expecting to like verbally spar with you because of your dislike for lots of stuff.
Look, I am uh I have thoughts on things occasionally, and when they're good and they actually entertain me, I'm there. But I do not buy into the like, oh my god, the nostalgia is so good. It reminded me of when I was happy in life because I'm just as happy now as I was back then. So I don't really give a shit about pining for the '80s and the wonderful times that they were. Because anything you're gonna make from now is either gonna be a remake that's gonna be
Oh,
something that you watch at 11 o'clock on a Friday night on Amazon because that's the only place they aired it, or it's going to not translate at all because they're going to try and stay too close to the original source material and just make it like very cringe for today's
oh,
society. So let the stuff that's there sit there. Nobody's taking away from you. Go watch your movies. Go watch your shows. I will
oh,
go find Misfits of Science anytime I can.
do I have some stuff for you? You're talking about some remakes and some stuff like that? Yes, Danny, I actually didn't shit on the franchise. I said that the movie was really good. The only thing missing from the Ghostbusters movie was the busting ghosts part.
I think you
They
said it was
really didn't
fine.
do a lot of ghost busting. They did a little bit in the beginning, I said, and then at the very final thing, the very final big battle. But Jack hasn't seen it, so Jack's not. I'm spoiler free for the most part. I mean, they win.
Yeah,
Shaw.
look, is somebody that saw the original in the theater at least 2 or 3 times when it was released. Eh, I'm
They
good. I got
did.
my Ghostbusters, man.
There
Like,
were some really good plots that ran through the whole story that I actually enjoyed more than I thought I would. Um, and then there was a mid-credit scene that kind of tells you that there's more stuff to come. Um,
Danny has
it's
serious
perfect,
thoughts about
perfect,
me.
perfect.
Yeah, at
So
some
since
point I will probably see it. I don't look, as I said, my kids have like zero interest, and unless it's something that like I need to see because I'm worried about being spoiled for me, and
yeah,
this is not a movie I care at all if it's spoiled because there's no zero stakes for me
well they
with
will,
any of it.
they will.
Um,
Everybody
I'll
cheerful.
go see it someday, but I'm also insanely busy.
So since we're talking about remakes and reboots and sequels, I have a lot of news on that. But before we go into the remakes and the reboots of stuff that we don't know about, we both watched a remake of a movie, right?
I suppose it's a remake. So apparently there was sequels that I didn't know about though.
For Roadhouse?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
yeah.
Pardon my language.
And one of the sequels, you find out what Dalton's first name was. Even
What was his first name?
not Elwood.
No,
No,
not Elmwood.
no, something, something. But yeah, no, there was
What was
multiple
his first
Roadhouse movies.
name?
Oh, I don't remember. James. I
Oh,
think it's
well,
something
that's
silly
a
like that.
letdown.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
no, I
no,
actually did not know, but we both watched the new Jake Gyllenhaal slash Conor McGregor Roadhouse, and since I just gave my whole spiel on Ghostbusters, I want to hear what you thought about this movie.
hold on. Let me look here. Roadhouse 2. Hold on.
Roadhouse, I can't believe they made it too.
Roadhouse 2 is the Black Pelican is the restaurant they do.
Are you
It
serious?
starred, hold
What's the
on,
name of the movie? Roadhouse 2?
Jonathan Shishishi from the one Oneaters, the that thing you do.
Uh-huh.
Jake Busey's in it. Yeah. So let's see. And then there's another one afterwards. I don't know where it went, but yeah, I read there's a couple sequels here to it. Um,
Roadhouse 2 Last Call?
oh,
Are
there it
you
is. And then
kidding
Riff
me?
Tracks Roadhouse was 2006.
Wow.
Yeah, there's some Roadhouses out there that exist.
Okay.
Um,
Wow.
so yeah, who knew? Who knew? But so look, the new one, it was perfectly enjoyable. Um, I don't know why it needed to be called Roadhouse, why the bar needed to be called the Roadhouse, why we needed to have anything to do with the original Roadhouse, because it was inferior in pretty much every single way to the original movie.
Oh, yes,
Let
Danny.
Yeah. So a couple points to Danny's asking about, none of them with Patrick Swayze. Correct, because they were made quite a while later, and Patrick Swayze was like 36 when the original Roadhouse was made, so he would have been in his 50s by the time the two sequels were made.
Do
Um,
you know, before you continue, that now that you mention that, um, Sam Elliott was only 41, I think, when that
40,
movie
43.
43. He looks 90 in that movie. He looks old as shit.
Yeah, he was only 6 years older
That's
than Patrick
amazing.
Swayze when they filmed that. So
Go ahead.
great point, right?
Yeah.
So leaving that character out really hurt the emotional stakes and the whole premise of the whole concept of the movie, right? Like there was a connection that Dalton had to it, somebody from his past that came back to help him because he couldn't handle it on his own. And then spoilers for Roadhouse from the '80s sometime. Um, his friend gets killed as part of it, and then that pushes Dalton over, but he still never goes over the edge,
Right.
right? And he's still in control and still practicing all the things because he's got that Zen kind of Patrick Swayze vibe.
Mhm.
Um, but just fun movie all around back then, right? Like you get more fight scenes. It makes sense why a bunch of rednecks in the middle of nowhere are fighting in a bar all the time, even before you bring in like the people trying to, whatever redneck mafia trying to take over whatever it was. Um, but then the new one, like none of the storylines made sense, like at all.
Well, a teeny tiny little bit. So what before you go with that, just reading the first line of this Roadhouse 2, I'm stuck on the fact that there's a Roadhouse 2. No, I have to read this first line of the plot of this
Yeah.
movie before we go on. While he's deep undercover in New York, DEA agent Shane Tanner, the son of a legendary cooler named Dalton, learns that his uncle Nate Tanner got beat up by a group of men because he doesn't want to sell the Black Pelican, his bar in Tyree, Louisiana. No. I might
Yeah,
watch it
that
later.
sounds just like the
Mm,
premise for the
but
new Roadhouse movie.
so the new Roadhouse movie, the only thing with the plot was, and they didn't really throw this in until, spoilers if you haven't seen this movie. They didn't really throw this in until way into the middle of the movie, the fact that this guy named Ben, I believe his name was, right? The bad guy's name was Ben, the guy with the boat, I
No,
think? No. Wasn't it
Bennett,
Ben?
Bennett, Burnt.
No, now I gotta look. See, because I was prepared, and now I'm not. But
Right,
you
because I
don't
made you
find
pull
out
up
until
Roadhouse 2, so it jammed you all up.
yeah, it did. You really like my whole head's
It's not Bennett?
I thought it was Ben. Hold on. Hang on. Yeah, Ben Brandt,
Brant. Yeah,
Billy
okay.
Magnuson. So but his name's Ben.
Got
So
it.
the whole point of why these people are constantly going to this bar and breaking stuff up is because he's trying to build this big resort, and that place is the last place to
N
buy up. It's its tale as old as time.
wait, it was a resort? Did I miss that part? I must have missed
Yes.
that part.
Yeah,
I
there's a
thought it was
whole
to bring in drugs for the cartel.
no, it actually wasn't. It was because he's trying to build this big resort all along the coastline,
Oh, that's
and
stupid.
that roadhouse is the last remaining holdout of course,
Yeah.
you
That
know,
d that
build
doesn't
the
even make
bridge
sense.
around them kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Um, I look, the opening fight scene was absolutely hilarious.
Anytime I can watch Post Malone get punched in the face, I'll take it.
Um, it the cast wasn't bad. The plot was a little weak, but it was a fun brain dead movie.
Yeah, look, as I said, it was a perfectly enjoyable, like, 2 hours. I don't know why it's 2 hours.
I
Coulda trimmed that down to a tight hour and a half, 90 minutes.
absolutely could have.
Um, it was also you got a little bit of, like, the building the team thing, but then you didn't go into the team at all. Like, there was no exposition of any character in the movie,
No, none.
barely even of Dalton. But, like, you got, "Oh, well, this is why when he goes nuts, he really goes nuts." Okay, got it. But then he doesn't ever go he's still, like, super in control even though he's completely over the edge, which, like, it was weird.
It was.
Jake Gyllenhaal was great. Um,
What did you
uh,
think of Conor McGregor?
I hate him so much that it almost made me not watch the movie. I mean, he played himself, which is a degenerate piece of shit scumbag that
He
shouldn't be allowed to be anywhere ever.
he played himself, but more over the top than himself. Like
I don't
he
know that it
got
was.
he got jacked for that though.
Yeah,
Like he
I don't ever need to see him in a movie again.
well,
But
he so apparently from stuff that I've been reading, Jake had to go to him in between takes when they were like choreographing the fight stuff and say, "Remember, don't hit me for real." And Connor would go, "Oh yeah, 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 okay, okay." And Connor actually punched him in the face once or twice. Um, to Jake's credit, apparently he got real UFC training, and the scenes that they show, the flashback scenes of him in the UFC ring, they actually filmed during a UFC fight, and there's actual blood in the ring from one of the UFC fights.
yeah, look, he got ridiculously ripped.
Yeah.
I don't know why he keeps doing that to himself, but that's fine.
The
Did you realize that the love interest is Ratcatcher 2?
yes, I did. Well, when I went home and looked it up, or not went home, but I didn't go out to see this. When I looked it up to see who she was, that yes. Um, the funniest, I think the one line that got me the funniest that I laughed, I swear to God, I laughed for 5 minutes, was when they were fighting on the boat, and Connor goes, or whatever his name was, he goes, "Oh, we got our own little octagon here," and Jake just goes, "Who taught you shapes?"
Yeah,
It was such a quick throwaway,
when they were
but
in the boat, that was great.
I laughed for 5 minutes, and
Yeah,
I don't think I missed anything.
look, I like Jake Gyllenhaal in everything he's in, but I wish they let him like just he's funny and he's got like this great wit, and
Yeah,
he never gets to use it. Or maybe
no.
it's the way he acts, but like when he gets to do those throwaway lines and like the funny bits and like show a little bit of humor and those things, he's fantastic. I mean, he was Donnie Darko for Christ's sakes. Like he's great. He was Bubble Boy. You know what I mean? Like he's great at all that stuff. But then like he's just like I got to be dark and brooding. He's stuck in the DC. I need a little more Marvel. A little more Marvel
Well,
out of Jake.
he was asked if he would like to revisit the role and if there's a possibility for it too, and he said he would love to revisit the role.
I mean,
So,
as ripped as he is, he should 100% be Batman.
I mean, look, I wouldn't say no. I think he could pull it off. He's got the height, and he's definitely is ripped. Um,
And he's the right age for the Batman they want.
yeah. Um,
So, yeah, but look, if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's super fun.
yeah,
Um,
it is. And
it's like I said, don't go looking for story and character development
no,
and like a
no,
deeper
no, no.
meaning to it. They pretend there is, but there's totally not.
There's
Um,
no.
the stakes just aren't there. It's all watered down. Everything in it is completely watered down, except there's all these people get killed and whatnot. There's like two of them in the entire movie that
Yeah.
get killed,
Um,
and one of them they foreshadow 25 minutes earlier. You're like, oh well, that's going to happen to someone, and it happens way earlier than it should have happened
yeah.
when they had their
Actually,
Peter Pan moment.
3 I wanna say 3 or 4 people died off
Yeah.
that I'm thinking of.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it wasn't a lot. It really wasn't.
No.
No, it wasn't an over the top, kill count.
Yeah.
Alright. Here, you ready for some awful Hollywood news for you?
Sure.
It's a lot of remakes, a lot of sequels,
Y-
it's a lot
Yeah,
of
but we can hit trailers while we're in there too.
we can. Starting off at the top here, Christopher McDonald. You know who Christopher McDonald is?
Shooter McGavin? That Christopher McDonald?
Shooter McGavin let fans know that he has seen the first draft of Happy Gilmore 2.
Oh,
So that's a thing. Okay? That's one.
yeah.
Boondock Saints 3 is confirmed with the original stars returning, but the creator is stepping aside.
Mm.
So that's a little rough.
Well, look. So I don't know if I know you do not know Norman Reedus very well anymore,
Not as much,
but
no.
he just plays Norman Reedus now. So
Okay.
I'm sure whatever character he had in the first two Boondock Saints will be gone, and it will just be him as Daryl from Walking Dead in this one.
Um so original director Troy Duffy is not returning and will continue his story of the Saints in a series of novels. The third film is going to be so Norman Reedus and Sean Patrick Flannery are returning for Boondock Saints 3, which has been dubbed a reimagining of the franchise with new characters to be introduced. That doesn't sound great.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, it does.
Sounds like Ghostbusters Afterlife. That
uh-huh.
was just for Danny. If he's still around, I had to.
There is a movie adaptation of a hit video game in development with Margot Robbie,
Mm,
Robbie,
Yep. Yep.
Robbie,
It's one of those. Yep.
yep, as a producer in development with the Loki director, The Sims.
Oh, so it's gonna be Barbie.
It's going to be Barbie, but The
Yep.
Sims.
Great.
That could be
Sounds
interesting.
no, no, it can't.
All right,
Have
the
you ever
original.
played The Sims?
I have,
Yeah.
and
There's
I get
nothing
bored.
interesting about The Sims.
I get bored really fast. Um,
Yeah, and that's when you're playing it. Imagine watching somebody play The Sims for 2 hours. Well, so to be fair though, it's legit. All these kids watch,
yeah,
so maybe it's fine. You know.
I'm gonna I'm gonna give you two more, and then we can do the trailer stuff, and I can give the rest. There's a big one. This is a uh oh, we'll just go with it. The Never-Ending Story is getting a new film series 40 years after the 80s childhood classic. Um Never-Ending Story will be rebooted as a new multi-film live-action series
Mm.
co-produced by Seesaw Films. The new adaptation will bring the classic tale into the 21st century in an imaginative way, following the iconic 1984 film.
Look, I mean, they made sequels already. I don't know if you saw
Yes.
any of the sequels, but there was some
Nope.
sequels.
Nope. There are
Falcor and
sequels.
Sebastian, I think, were the only recurring characters.
So this is going to be a complete reset and do over.
Yeah, look, that's fine. But if they want to bring characters back, like we were all so spoiled by the way that Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings did their movie series that now any of these TV shows or movies that are like, we're gonna do multiple things. I'm like, you better film them back to back to back to back to back. and then rock it out that way, because all of these new plans like Stranger Things of like it's going to take us a decade to do 5 seasons. Like, no, these
Right.
kids were 15 when you started filming. They're in their late 20s now. Like,
Yep.
so I think there's, if they do it right, cool. That's a cool world. I mean, it's if you tell its own story and just tie back to some of the stuff,
Right.
I think there's potential to be had there. I mean, the
Okay.
original ones, is the movie holds up great.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I vaguely remember it. I never was like that into it.
oh, I've seen the first one 100 times.
I've seen the first one and I saw Dark Crystal and I never saw anything after the first ones of those. Like I never watched the re
Oh well, the reboot of Dark Crystal
I
does
heard
not
that was
hold up.
great. No?
No,
Oh, I thought
no,
that was great. I
no,
heard.
it's
No?
not. It's
Oh,
awful,
okay.
like awful.
Oh, then never mind.
Yeah, I tried to watch it with my kids. I'm like, "There's a new show coming out. Let's go watch this movie." And then I was like, "I'm so sorry that I made you watch this movie. It might be one of the worst things I've ever seen."
Um, so speaking of worst things ever,
Oh,
this could go either way here. This live action movie that is in development
hmm,
based on a character that was first created in 1929,
okay.
Popeye. They're
What?
they're going to do a live action Popeye. This is
Okay.
the first live action version since the wonderful Robin Williams version.
Yeah, I don't think it translates anymore.
I don't think it can.
Like like the
No.
80s and 90s slapstick goofy comedy era would have been where this would have thrived. And even I think the one with Robin Williams was a little too dark and real.
It gets there, yeah.
It was because it was very weird,
Oh,
that
yeah.
movie. Like, not quite a kids movie, but not really for adults either. Just this weird treatment of the character and it was shot in like very weird lighting and not like bright and cartoonish at all. Like, but yeah, I don't know. Um, I don't even think there was really a storyline to the
I
first
don't
one, was
does
there?
anybody even really know who Popeye is anymore? Like, he's not
Yeah, I would assume
Popeye
no.
isn't in, like, casual conversation even anymore. Like, Bugs
No.
Bunny at least had Space Jam to keep people,
Right.
like, thinking of Bugs Bunny. But, I mean, when we were younger and we were growing up and you see spinach, you automatically thought of Popeye. But now, not so much. I see
No.
spinach and I just go, "Ew,
No, but
it's spinach."
you know who remembers Popeye and the Robin Williams one?
Who?
All the people still going to the movies.
That's true. That's true.
And all
That's
the people
true.
actually paying for subscription services for the streaming stuff.
That's true. And it didn't even like the original Popeye didn't even really have a a a cast where you look back and go, "Oh wow, look at all those people."
Well, I
It
mean, it has Shelley Duvall.
and that's it.
It didn't have another Duvall. Was there another?
No, it was
Uh,
literally that's it. Like
did,
I'm looking at the names
I thought it
and
was somebody. I thought the guy that played Wimpy was. Isn't that
Wimpy was Paul Dooley.
okay?
I mean, he for the time Paul Dooley
And then
was
Burgess Meredith or God, Burgess Meredith.
Burgess Meredith is not in this.
He's Popeye's dad.
What? Where the fuck is he
Oh
at?
no, Ray Walston.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so close.
Hovey Burgess is in this, whoever the hell that is.
Yeah.
And Judy
Yeah.
Burgess is in it.
Well, yeah, but so that was done for the prior generation,
Look,
that movie, because there's
I'll
nobody that
agree
was
with this
remotely
too.
young.
I'll agree with that. Maddie Kaplan chiming in with Bugs Bunny rode Michael Jordan's coattails. I totally agree with that.
That's fair.
All right, I'm gonna pause on all this other stuff and uh,
Dennis Franz was in it.
yeah. Wait, from Hill
And
Street Blues?
from NYPD Blues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, him.
Yeah.
Um, and let you. So there were some trailers.
So many trailers.
There were a lot of trailers.
I mean, the new season of Doctor Who dropped their trailer, which
I
looks
didn't watch it.
great.
Does it look good?
It looks like a blast.
Okay.
Look, I love Ncuti Gatwa
Mm-hmm.
as Ken and also as the Doctor. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. It looks like they take it some different directions. They clearly have Disney money
Yeah.
from the trailer, which is we'll see how that translates long term. But look, the show is still fun enough that it's hooking people. Like my daughter loves all the new episodes. She's like 4. She probably shouldn't be watching them, but since
Oh,
she
that's
is,
awesome.
She thinks they're a blast, and I think his doctor is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Okay. Not my cup of tea, but I mean, good. That
Yeah,
gives
so there
gives
was
us
that
something to
trailer
see.
dropped. There was one for The Acolyte.
Look, it's getting a lot of hate online
I don't know why. Looks fun.
because it's all women.
It's not.
There's a lot of women in it, so
There's the
people are
dude from
hating on it.
Squid Game is also
I
like one of the
I
main.
thought it looked great. I think there's
Tell a good story, and I'm there.
that's exactly what I said. It it's set 100 years before the Phantom Menace, so there's really no Skywalker tie that I can think of off the top of my head. So that's good that it's away from the Skywalker part of things. If you want to tie it back to the original series in subtle ways, that's great. But give me a good story. That's really
Do,
all I care about is give me a good. People are complaining about the lightsaber whip. Whatever.
do we get Yoda?
I don't know, but it looked like um, people are thinking that one of the figures walking away is Plucon.
Oh, we don't know how his race ages, so that's fair.
Right. Because that's a big David Filoni thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
that
Go ahead.
trailer looks fine to me.
Yeah, like I said, tell a good story.
Yep.
Hopefully it's not Filoni. I think it's Deborah. Who was that one? Do you remember?
Um, I forget who it
Is that
is.
Deborah Chow? I don't think it is. Rick Fuji.
I'll tell you in a minute.
All right.
Um,
In the meantime, there were so many trailers. There was a new trailer for the new Aliens movie, Romulus. Looks like a return to old school classic horror. Looks like it's gonna be fun for that. I haven't seen the last few, but this one it screams Alien and Aliens vibes, which
you
were
want to
the
hear something
two that
shocking?
I like. What's
You
that?
want to hear something shocking? I've never seen an Aliens movie. Not even the original. Not
You
even the
need to
original.
see Aliens,
It was
not the
just not
first one.
my thing,
You
which
just
is
need to go
weird.
see the second one. Just the second one. Bill Paxton alone is enough reason to go see the second one.
I've heard.
He's
My
brilliant.
uncle my uncle tried to get me to watch it when I was younger, and I was like, "Nah, I'm good."
He's brilliant. I
Um,
saw that one in the theater for sure, at least once.
there was a Penguin trailer for
There
the
was
the
zero interest in
HBO
watching
Max.
that.
Huh?
I said I have zero interest in watching that.
I'm all 100% interested in watching that. See, that looked great to me. That
I
looks like a gritty, down to earth origin story kind of a thing for the
eh,
Penguin without him being
oh, see,
Danny
I don't see
DeVito's
origin story in it at all. I just see like it's just the
I think they'll do it
day
through
in the life of the
flashbacks.
penguin.
I think they'll do it through flashbacks.
Well,
The way the trailer gave off the story that he was telling about how this gangster guy and how he wanted to be how they threw him a parade, and it seems like if I'm reading off the trailer right, and I haven't read any reviews on it, my take would be that that is what he wants to have happen for him, is he wants to be that popular and known throughout the neighborhoods.
yeah, I'm not sold on it. It looks like I said, it looks fine, but like, ooh, gritty crime drama. So exciting. So I don't
Um,
see anybody from anywhere popping up in there.
the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare
Oh my god.
looks phenomenal.
It looks like a fun version of Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, it looks great. I didn't realize who all was in that at first. Like I got that Henry Cavill was in it, so you've already roped me in a little bit. But put Alan Ritchson in it, and now I'm like, oh, I'm definitely all in.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an absolute
And it's
blast.
based on a true story of the first ever special forces team
Yeah, I don't know when they
overseas.
had time to film it. Is what I'm confused by.
I saw nothing about this movie. Nothing at
Um,
all. Um, I mean, the big, big, big one that dropped was the Beetlejuice trailer.
there was a Beetlejuice trailer.
Um,
What are your thoughts on the Beetlejuice trailer?
I thought it looks great. I think
It was-
as long as the story carries over, Michael Keaton looked great in the snippet that you see of him,
Well, yeah, I mean Jenna Ortega's playing Lydia's daughter,
and
so
he said working with her was phenomenal. That she's a great little actress. She didn't say little. I said little. Um,
look, I've enjoyed. She was. not as advertised in the Scream movies because she's like a third to fourth lead in both of them.
Right.
But she was great in them. She was phenomenal on Wednesday. I know
Mm,
you're still working your way through that.
I'm almost there, yeah. I'm almost up to start that.
I mean, she's no Ariana Greenblatt, but she's
No.
holding her own.
Oh, the Acolyte has Carrie Ann Moss, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my
right
god, she
there I'm
looks
all in.
great. She
Yeah.
she hasn't aged.
No, no.
Um,
But back to Beetlejuice. Winona Ryder's in it, obviously, and Michael Keaton and Willem Dafoe's in it.
oh, all right.
Yeah, he's in it.
Is he the
Uh,
head shrunk guy? Because he would be an awesome guy
let
with
me
the head
see.
shrunk.
He said who he was, and they got mad at him
Now
because he
I
revealed a little
wonder
Christian.
how much, if at all, it's going to pull from the Beetlejuice cartoon.
Well, so going back, and this is something that I didn't know because I didn't watch it, but apparently this Ghostbusters movie pulled from the Ghostbusters cartoon a lot too.
That's what I
And
heard. I look,
and
and I
Danny
remember the
and I should have
Ghostbusters
mentioned
cartoon.
that when I knew Danny was watching, and he could speak to that a little bit more than
Yeah,
I
I
can.
I watched the cartoon. It was fine. Um, I mean, I enjoyed the real Ghostbusters more, or the Ghostbusters cartoon more than the real Ghostbusters cartoon. But there's snippets that I remember from the my favorite one from the real Ghostbusters cartoon ever. There's one episode where they use this premise of like if you stay in the same place long enough, you'll see everybody you've ever known. And it's
Yeah,
just Ray sitting there, and like his library teacher passed by, and then like his k- elementary school girlfriend walks by, and then like
wow,
just all, and finally it's the person that he's looking for. But
that
there's somebody I used to work with at like at the story work that I was like every like day and a half it'd be somebody else and be like, oh, I know them, they're my neighbor from when I was in kindergarten, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my god, it was just every day there was somebody else that they knew from along the way. It always reminded me of that Ghostbusters episode.
okay. So according to IMDb, they don't show who his character is, but if you
Mm,
Google it, it's there.
yeah.
Um, Justin Theroux is in it. Catherine O'Hara's back. It's a pretty big cast.
Yeah,
Uh,
look, it's gonna be fine.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. All in.
Again, another one. I'm not gonna worry about it. Like if I see it, great. In
Right.
the movie theater, but I'm not gonna like
That one
opening
I'll
night be chipping at the.
kind of push a little bit more to go see probably.
Um, we
What
had a
else?
Furiosa trailer.
Yep.
Did you see the
Nope.
last Mad Max?
Nope.
No.
I haven't seen
Shocking.
Mad Max since The Road Warrior.
Oh God, you didn't even see Thunderdome?
No, I actually never watched Thunderdome.
Wow. Look,
We don't
this
need
is
another hero.
this is Chris Hemsworth,
I
being
saw.
Ragnarocky Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Like over the top, watch me be funny, but it doesn't feel like it should be a funny movie, so I don't know how that's gonna play out. Anya Taylor-Joy seems like she's gonna be great.
Okay.
Because I mean, she's always phenomenal.
Right.
But Hemsworth is like hit or miss for me anymore. So, um, I'm I'll probably watch it. I'll probably wait on that. I definitely will see that one in the theater. There's a handful of these I might go see in the theater. I might go try and see Ministry Ungentlemanly Warfare just because that seems like a fun one to go catch. And then we also got a House of the Dragon trailer.
No, we got 2 House of the Dragon
Did
trailers.
we?
We got a green one and a black one. We
Oh,
got one for each side is what we got, and I didn't realize that either.
mm.
Again, I mean, I'm all in. It was the first season was great. Um, I only hope the second season lives up to the first season, that's all.
It looks like it has the potential to. I hope it moves a little faster. Because like when it moved, but when it didn't, oh dear God, it was brutal.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Um, oh,
I
and
Go
we
ahead.
had a Fall Guy trailer with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, with Ryan Gosling playing the, stuntman.
Yeah, we're on two or three. This is second or third trailer for them.
Yeah, I'm okay with not seeing that at first.
Uh, yeah,
It
nothing about it's like ooh, once
No,
it doesn't
like,
it's not grabbing me. That's for sure.
no. So the rest of the stuff I have over here, you know how I love bringing up the Winnie the Pooh horror stuff?
Oh, I heard. I'm excited for this one.
Are you excited for the crossover event?
I've heard about this crossover event, but give me more details.
Winnie the Pooh horror crossover event titled Pooniverse,
I love it.
Pooniverse,
I love it.
Pooniverse Monsters. It's called. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Monsters Assemble. Um, it's gonna introduce new characters and menacing twists on iconic tales.
I'm in.
Um, it's like the Avengers for this.
Let's do it.
Um,
I'm in. Speaking of monsters and horror, because I know you won't.
I'm great with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure Charles will give us a great review when he's out and about and able to go see that. So
Yeah.
he was posted on that and Blood and Honey too when you get better, man. Um,
Um,
Speaking of horror,
yes.
so Walking Dead, there's one
Oh,
episode left
yeah.
of Those Who Live. Let me tell you, not this week's episode, which was also great, but last week's episode um, was written by Denai Guerrera, who is
Mhm.
Michonne on the show. It's basically a bottle episode with her and Rick
Okay.
for a solid hour. Written by her, who is an award-winning playwright.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, she's a pretty big deal in the world of stage. Um, Unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Just like the character development, the writing, the evolution of the characters through that 1 hour was probably as good as it was in like 2 to 3 seasons of the regular show.
Damn.
Um, and then when they go into the episode from this past week, um, they continue to keep their foot on the pedal of actual like storytelling and like moving the story along, but actually like filling in gaps that you had from the past and actually like really good writing, which is a nice change from a lot of the stuff that's come out lately.
Mhm.
But they've had her as an executive producer and like helping show run along the way, and she's brilliant. So I'm excited for this next episode. There's one left this season. They could do another 50, and I would watch all of them because it's been such great writing so far.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
if you haven't,
I haven't.
if you bowed out of The Walking Dead at any point, like when Rick died all those years ago, go
Uh-huh.
check this show back out because it is 100% worth the ride.
I slightly tapped out by never watching.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. At
Um,
least you watched the new X-Men cartoon, so we have that.
what? Oh, I was skipping right over Marvel this week.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to want to drop? Now, I am planning on. So we discussed. We both tried to watch the X-Men cartoon from the beginning, kind of gear up for this, and neither of us made it through the first episode, I believe, right?
No, it was so bad.
Yeah. So my plan.
And to be fair, as I said earlier,
Yeah.
about nostalgia, neither one of us has a place in nostalgia for that cartoon.
Not as much as other people. I don't. Well, yeah, no.
For me, I didn't realize till recently. I always got that mixed up with Pride of the X-Men, which
Oh,
was the show from before that where Wolverine had an Australian accent. So I always could have sworn in X-Men 97 he had an Australian accent.
I would
Apparently
have.
he does not.
I would have been more attached to a Gargoyles
There you
spinoff.
go.
But
Um
my
yeah,
plan is to watch the final maybe 2 episodes of the original
you
series.
don't need to.
No? Okay.
No.
They do a recap?
No.
Oh,
But
okay.
you don't need to.
Hey,
It
Don,
look,
how you doing?
it's
Was it good?
the target, so they pull a lot of stories even in this new one, right? They're pulling from classic X-Men storylines.
Right.
Great. I already read those.
Well,
Um
I didn't.
yeah, I know, but I did. And they were better written then.
Oh,
Um
boy.
so it's fine. Like but it's dealing with these it's still a kid show, right? It's clearly not for kids, right? It's for guys like in their 40s and
Right.
30s who enjoyed X-Men when it was out in the late 90s, right?
Right.
But like I never bought into that because I was like, I already read these stories and all they're doing is retelling these stories, which is why I couldn't get into the show. Because I was like, oh my God. And I loved the X-Men comics and I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, but this was done better in the comic book. Every episode I watched was like the comic was better. So I had
So,
zero incentive to watch, right? Watch the show. But
I maybe next week we could talk a little bit about the behind the scenes drama, but not this week because I don't have prepared for it.
That's fine. So they but the new one, I don't think they know their audience. Right? I don't think it could be for kids, and it's written like a 90s show for kids. But they're dealing with like um super heavy topics of like um racism and genocide and like and you know and all of that like it's very heavy discriminatory like concepts. Magneto's on trial in one of the episodes, which is pulled straight from the comics in the late 80s early 90s, with this costume from that time period. It's fine. Some weird stuff with some of the characters where they pick and choose what powers work when, how.
Oh,
Some weird choices they're making relationship wise already. Um, I'll keep watching it because they're quick.
yep.
But the first time I tried to watch the first episode of this new one, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it, and I stopped. And then I started watching Tacoma FD, which is much more fun.
Agents of Shield.
No, do you like Broken Lizard, the comedy troupe?
I don't know them off the top of my head.
Super Troopers,
Ah,
Club
okay. Yeah,
Dread,
yeah.
the Singing Salmon, I think it was called.
Okay.
I own every movie they put out as Broken Lizard
Oh
because I
shit.
love them all.
Okay.
Beer Fest, oh my god, Beer Fest is one of my favorite movies ever. But it's two of the guys from there. I'm sure the one of the other guys directs a bunch of episodes. He directed a ton of the Goldbergs. The other guy, Jay, last name has a lot of consonants and is really long, and I can't remember it.
Yeah.
But two of the guys from there are
Okay.
the leads. It's a blast, and the girl from Yellowstone, the blonde, is in it. The blonde stunt rider who ends up
Oh yeah,
moving in
yeah.
and getting
Okay.
with the singer dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on it.
Oh, cool, man. See, now you caught my attention. Um, the only two quick things I have for DC: the Joker movie.
Oh, fale to do or
Yeah,
fale
whatever.
do? Yeah,
The will reportedly be a jukebox musical including 15 well-known songs and potentially even original tracks.
that sounds awful.
It's confirmation that the project is going to be a movie musical.
Mm. Well, look, at least they admitted it.
Yeah. And the last thing is, I'm going to read through this quick little list here before we get to our TV show thing. The Justice League, if cast in the 90s. So we've done 80s before, right?
Yeah, didn't they cast in the night? No, I guess that was the 2000s,
Yeah,
right?
this is if the Zack Snyder one got cast maybe in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, Superman, obvious choice here. Nicolas Cage
For who again?
for Superman.
Okay.
Okay. For Batman, now mind you, this is from Screen Rant. This isn't from me. They have Alec Baldwin. You got to think 90s.
Alec Baldwin
Yeah,
is the Batman?
as the Batman.
100%.
Okay.
He was the Shadow
Yeah.
at the same time. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
that holds up.
Wonder Woman, Sandra Bullock.
No.
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 I don't
never.
like that one either. Think they just kind of went popular actors because they have Hal Jordan Green Lantern as Tom Cruise.
I mean, that's fine. There was rumors of that. I would have taken that.
Barry Allen, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Too young.
Yeah, they went most popular person they could think of. Aquaman, Brad Pitt.
That's fine.
Okay. Green Arrow, Patrick Swayze.
No. In the 90s?
90s?
40-something Patrick Swayze? Woo!
Grizzled old Green Arrow? Maybe?
I mean, yeah, I would have wanted the goatee if it was the 90s, though.
Yeah.
Or was that was Longbow Hunters was around then, so there was a case for the longer beard, so that might have been all right.
Okay. Shazam, Brendan Fraser.
No.
Not in the 90s.
No. Well,
No?
this Encino Man, that was School Ties before Georgia the Jungle and the one where he was the Mountie.
John Stewart's Green Lantern, Will Smith.
I mean, again, when like Will Smith was not old in the 90s. He was like in his
No.
teens for
Yeah.
most of the 90s.
The rest of this list is a little I'm gonna stop because the rest of this list is just it's just the most popular person you can think of, like Harley Quinn, Jennifer Aniston, Lex Luthor, John Malkovich. That right
Yeah,
there.
they're oh well, that one's good.
Yeah.
All right, I mean,
Uh,
I'll give
Christopher
you that.
Christopher Lee as Alfred. Like, okay, yeah. Like, why not?
I mean, you also had
Depending depending on what Alfred you're going with. Now, are you gonna go with old original Alfred, or are you gonna go with new CIA or
but
SAS?
back then he was still he wasn't that Alfred yet. He was
Right.
still old Alfred.
And the last one, before I go back to the TV thing, they have Willem Dafoe as the Joker.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
That one's great.
Um,
Do
and
that
now
one.
to wind down this last list, this is the top 20 remaining shows of the 20th century per the Hollywood Reporter from October of 2023.
You're welcome, Chris.
Um, to recap, number 20,
Yeah.
Peep Show from Channel 4 is an English show.
Yep.
Nothing.
That was sounded great. I love Peep Show so much.
Number 19 is Rectify from Sundance TV from 2013 to 2016.
Nope, they're just pulling random shit out that nobody saw at this point. They're like, you know what's great? That thing you never saw.
Number 18 is the show that should be in the top 5, one of the greatest shows of the 20th century, Friday Night Lights.
Well, now I know this list is crap. They have Friday Night Lights at number 18.
Number 18. Number 17, they have Halt and Catch Fire on AMC from
Ooh.
2014 to 2017.
You know, I had that on my DVR for a long time and just
Really?
never could have time to watch it. It looked so good.
And here's how you know this list is bullshit. Number 16 is Breaking Bad.
16, huh?
16.
Okay.
So there's got to be 16. So now the bar here is what 16 shows are better than Breaking Bad? Because
Well,
this is
15. I know we don't like math, but what
we
15
don't
shows?
math. Sorry, Chris. Number 15, Atlanta on FX from 2016 to
okay.
22.
I never watched it, but I heard
Is it
phenomenal.
better than Breaking Bad?
I think people thought it was, at least the first
Okay.
couple seasons.
Fair enough. I'll take that. Number 14, Enlightened from HBO 2011 to 2013.
I don't even know which one that was. That was
That's a Laura Dern show.
during the quiet part of HBO.
Okay. Number 13, 30 for 30, ESPN 2009 to present.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's
they've
been a
had
lot
some.
of good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Number 12, The Americans, FX 2013 to 2018. Is The Americans better than Breaking Bad? I would put them close.
Did you watch The
Yes,
Americans?
I watched both. The Americans was really good. I
Yeah.
love The Americans.
I would say that holds its own against Breaking Bad.
Okay, fair. Number 11, The Daily Show.
Oh yeah. I mean, that should be up there. I didn't realize you were counting variety shows too.
Apparently we are.
Variety and talk shows. So okay.
Number 10, BoJack Horseman. I never watched BoJack Horseman on Netflix from 2014 to 2020.
Whatever. I did not either, but I know it's not better than Breaking Bad.
No. Number 9, Freaks and Geeks. NBC 1999 to 2000. It was a one-season
You
show.
can't count that as being the 2000s.
I don't think so. And especially not at number 9.
No, especially
Okay.
not for one season. When the only reason that it's so well known is because of all the people that were in it, not because it was such a phenomenal show. If it was a phenomenal show, it would have made it more than a season.
Correct. Number 8 is Girls, HBO 2012 to 2017.
Like it was again during the dark
Yeah.
time of HBO for me, but I heard it was unreal and it made that one chick super famous. So
Lena Dunham.
yes,
Okay. Number 7, Better Call Saul. Better than Breaking
above
Bad?
Breaking Bad. Ooh,
Yeah. And The
Ooh.
Americans. I didn't watch it, so I can't.
I'd put it
I
on
know it was-
par.
I
think
know it's supposed to be great.
it is. I think there were parts that were better than Breaking Bad.
Okay.
But I also watched it, right? So I think a
Right.
lot of these are impacted by if you binged it or watched it.
Okay.
I watched Better Call Saul. I after season 2 or season 2 I started watching.
Right.
I binged all of Breaking Bad and season 1 of Better Call Saul to watch season 2 of Better Call Saul.
I binged all of Breaking Bad. I watched up to a season 1.5, and then I stopped for a year, and then I watched the whole rest of it and got caught up.
Oh.
The Americans, I watched the first season and stopped until it ended, and then binged the whole rest of it.
Um, The Americans was the kind of show where I had to not do other stuff.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, you
Like, it
have
was
to
not
pay
second
attention to
so,
that.
like,
Yeah,
I had to time myself, and then I would end up saving 4 or 5 episodes and
right.
taking an afternoon and just
I
pounding through
yeah.
half the season, and then I
Um,
was into it, but it was tough to watch any other way.
Number 6 is Reservation Dogs on FX
I've heard
Hulu.
phenomenal things. I wanna watch it still.
Okay, that's number 5, The Wire. Absolutely holds up against I
Yeah.
watched the first season and I stopped, but that holds up
S
against Breaking Bad.
season 2's even
Yeah,
just as good. No, season 2's
no,
great. Season 3's questionable. Season 4 was kind of a return to form, but
okay. Um,
yeah, Jimmy
number
McNulty, man, you can't.
number 4, 30 Rock. I mean,
Look, I it was when I that was came out the years I did not watch TV.
no, that was 2006 to 2013.
Yeah, I was
It's
busy.
very
Yeah,
blurry nights.
but look, I heard it's great. I'm not huge into the sitcom thing, so
No, I do,
but
and I watched a lot of it, but I didn't watch all of it, and it was
yeah,
they're really funny episodes. Number 3 is Succession.
okay.
I haven't seen it yet. I
I
do
can't
plan to
argue it
watch
yet.
it. Um, Now this is where I don't know what's number 1 yet. Number
Smallville.
2 is The Sopranos,
Okay.
right? So
Oh,
that's
Game of Thrones is number 1, or was Game of Thrones on the list already? Oh, it was. It was like number
it
30.
was.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
number 1 is Mad Men.
Oh, all right.
So I can't see I never watched Mad Men, but I heard it, like, is just awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
and it
another one that sat on my DVR for pretty much anything on AMC sat on my DVR for years because it was all like you had to pay attention and like
yeah.
really watch, and it's just hard to
It
dedicate all that
spawned
time.
it spawned a lot of it spawned a lot of people out of it, but The
Yeah.
Sopranos at 2, I personally would put that at 1 over Mad Men because I
Uh,
watched The Sopranos and
but
I
would you
didn't watch
consider
Mad
that a 2000s?
What?
The Sopranos?
Sopranos started in '99 and ended in '07, so
Okay, yeah. I
and I
thought it
think
was
it
longer in the
started
90s.
late not like, I think it started more towards September '99.
Yeah, I thought it was more seasons in the 90s
Yeah.
because I didn't start in on there till I watched The Wire before I watched The Sopranos. I didn't start The Sopranos till like season 5.
I was all in on The Sopranos from the start. I was
Yeah.
big into the mafia thing. But that's it. I can actually finally delete this from my thing. It's been there for a long time.
That has. So hey everybody, we made it to the top of the list. We watched some stuff. There's some more stuff coming up that we'll keep trying to keep up on. We'll maybe I'll make theater see Ghostbusters. Maybe Frank will finally watch Invincible and Bad Batch and
It's gonna be a
all those
rough
other things.
I got a rough 2 weeks coming, so we'll see.
We'll get some. I'll hit up the Walking Dead finale. Then I'll be out of town. We got also no, I won't be out of town anyway.
No, so
We got all sorts of stuff, but we do. We are gonna have a WW recap
yeah,
one of these weeks, or maybe it'll be a different night. We'll see what happens.
April 8th, so April 3rd, I'll go real fast. April 5th is the weekend of WrestleMania. I'm
Yep.
going April 7th and April 8th to WrestleMania night 2 and then the Raw, so we won't do a live show Monday. Um, I'll be at Raw maybe sometime that week. We'll see what your schedule's like and if we can fit it in.
I'll be out of the country, so you can bring on a guest star that goes with you and recap the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
experience. It'll be
Maybe
awesome.
maybe JJ will come on and maybe Danny.
You guys will love it. It'll be great. As for
Right.
me, check me out jackkidmusic.com. You can see where I'll be at. I mentioned at the top. But hey, tell a friend, have them go check out the podcast, and you can download it anywhere you get your podcast. Google Podcasts, only a week left. If you enjoy
Thank
it,
you.
do it. Otherwise, go to YouTube Music. Thanks. See y'all
Bye.
soon. Bye bye.